Have you ever wanted to go on a heartfelt journey in the lives of your loved ones and newfound acquaintances? Do you enjoy listening and engaging in uplifting discussions that leave you motivated and inspired to take action in your own life? This podcast is a space where we have in-depth conversations on family, health, spirituality, entrepreneurship, and well, just plain old life. I'm Jesse De Leon, and this is my passion. Join me on a walk into the fascinating narratives and meaningful conversations that shape our experiences. Welcome to The Knowing, a Life in Stories podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. And again, every day, every time we record, gets a little bit easier, a little bit more fun. And I get a little bit more excited to know that I get to be here in front of you. And I want to remind everyone that, you can actually see the interviews or the talks from, the episodes on YouTube. So feel free to go check it out there. I know that one of my sisters and several friends say they actually prefer that because they feel like when I look into the camera, I'm right there with them and talking right there at them. So check it out. Might like it. Might get to see, kind of what I'm wearing and how the hair looks. Oh, speaking of which, I mentioned on the Ted Lasso episode that I use castor oil. It's organic. I use it on my skin. So this is it. And it comes in a plastic container. So there's a lot of controversy about using plastic containers and a lot of concerns, not really controversy, more so concerns and the plastics, what plastics do to the material that's inside. And so I just want to make you aware of it, that when I recommend a product, I'm recommending it because it works on me and because I like it. It may not work for you. There may be some products that you might want to ask your doctor about. And so like vitamins, I take 4 or 5 supplements daily. They work for me, but that doesn't mean that you need them or the specific ones that I use. But I'm just sort of relaying to you what I do because people ask me often, Jesse, why does your skin look like that? How do you have so much hair like that? How do you create different styles? What are you wearing? What's your favorite, dress shirt? It happens to be Brooks Brothers. I am obsessed with Brooks Brothers dress shirts, primarily because I used to send all my dress shirts to the cleaners. And I used to like the way they came back very nicely pressed. But then I started reading about what the chemicals they use on the clothes and how it affects the environment and how it affects us. Because when we're wearing something, our skin absorbs whatever the chemicals are that are in our perfumes, in our clothes, in our deodorants, our body washes. So I'm just going to recommend that whenever you're using a new product, do a little research. That is the beauty of the internet that we have to use as a consultant that we can go to and see what the ingredients are. And then if you notice any change in your skin, irritations in your eyes, your skin, it may be something that you're allergic to. So just be aware that happens. And in terms of vitamins, I always use multivitamin. I always take a multivitamin. I take a fish oil vitamin. I take a vitamin D3 vitamin, especially in the wintertime. I do a big dose of it because we're not out in the sun. So we need that to help keep our immune system strong. And let's see what else. Oh, and I take zinc because during the pandemic, we learned that zinc, along with vitamin D3, help to keep your immune system strong, using them in conjunction with the other. So those I use, and I was using something that it was a finasteride that was used to keep my hair from falling out. So I'm a little vain when it comes to that. I don't want to lose my hair. So I spoke to my doctor about it. I actually started taking Finasteride about 10 years ago, off and on. And so I'm not taking it anymore because I don't feel I need it. But there are great hair vitamins out there too that you can sort of do a little research on. Some hair vitamins work really well, and that same vitamin may not work for the next person, your best friend or your sibling. So just be aware of that. And there are a lot of great products out there. Got a lot of great supplements. I like to use Metagenics when I'm using a supplement. Also, I like Solgar, and I would do some research on those two brands because I like them. They work really well for me, and I think they're very reputable. So one other thing about the non-iron shirts. Okay, I love it. I don't send any of my clothes I don't send my clothes to the cleaners anymore. I may send a blazer every now and then, but these shirts are so great because you stick them in the wash and you put them in the dryer. And if you take them out immediately when the dryer goes off and you hang it, it looks like they came back from the cleaners without one wrinkle. And I used to be OCD about having a wrinkle on my shirt. And so when Brooks Brothers came out with it, I was all about it. And in fact, Oprah Winfrey was the first person, after I had already learned about the non-iron shirts from Brooks Brothers, she learned about them. And when she learned about them, well, she had a huge platform by which to talk about them and promote them. And let me tell you, they were sold out. So everything, she's got the Midas touch, right? So everything she supports and believes in, people listen. So I'm going to hope that you're going to do the same for me when I'm speaking, that you take my words and that they hold value. So I started out talking to Jeffrey, my producer, about what I wanted to talk to you about on this episode, and it wasn't about all that. I got distracted. So what I wanted to talk about, and I'll be brief about it, is having the difficult conversations with your siblings and with your best friends. As Jeffrey said, it's not just your family that you kind of can fall out with or get cross with, or need to have this healthy, significant conversations with. And over the holiday, a few of my siblings and we actually sat down and talked about how we want to learn how to communicate better so that when we're in the same room together, we can come from a place of love and kindness. And sometimes when you grow up with 9 brothers and sisters, as we did, or grow up with one brother or sister, sometimes we can joke in a way that's not really nice and isn't really friendly. And really, I think it's a way to say what we really want to say, but that we're afraid to say because we are afraid of confrontation. And just remember, because you confront someone with something, it doesn't have to be confrontational. It can come from a place of peace and love and honesty and sincerity and with empathy. And I think that that's missing sometimes. We are so challenged by the idea or the concept of going to someone who you're close to, especially whom you're close to, and say, hey, you said this a minute ago or yesterday or a week ago, and it really hurt my feelings. And I'm going to just tell you right now, it is so worth it to muster up the courage to just go to the person that you care about and say, hey, can I speak with you? I want to be honest and open with you because I love you, because you mean that much to me, because I care about you. And I know you love me and you care about me. And it's important for me. You're important to me. And it's important to me that we talk about this. And so we did that, a few of us. And I'm just going to tell you, it was so much better. It did feel so much better, but it's so weird that on the very next day, I call my brother and say, "Hey, Joe, um, you said that you and Yesenia, your wife, went to eat dinner last night, and I know you eat dinner early. I ate dinner late, and I happened to eat 2 servings of this amazing brisket, which we all know not to eat beef or anything heavy late at night before close to bedtime. And I ate at 9 o'clock. Well, I phoned my brother the next morning and said, "Did you sleep well?" And he said, "Yeah, I slept great." I said, "Well, I did not sleep well. And I was worried about you because I know you said you had a few lobsters for dinner, and you made sure to tell me that the lobsters were just a pound, not 2 or 3 pound lobsters." And so because I hadn't slept well, I was concerned that you hadn't slept well. And, and my brother said, "No, I slept just fine." And I could hear there was a shift in the tone. And then the conversation ended pretty quickly. I didn't think anything else about it just for that moment. The next day, my sister and I are at dinner, and she said, "Jess, you know how you said we're supposed to like be open and let's talk and let's be honest?" I said, "Yes, but we can never be brutally honest because that's never okay. You have to be honest with compassion and love and kindness and a bit of softness to it." Well, she said, "Well, I'm just going to tell you, Joe didn't tell me to tell you that I couldn't tell you. So I'm going to tell you, he's really upset with you." And I said, "Why? Are you serious?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm very serious." She said he was so outdone with you after the conversation y'all had that he had to go wash 2 cars, and he was still shaking out of being so upset on the second car because of what you said to him. And I said, "Well, please expound on that because I don't know what I said." And she said, "Well, he said that you said he was a big fat pig because he ate X amount of lobsters." And I said, "I didn't say that. That was never said." I said, "I'm going to call him right away." So she said, "Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good idea." So the next morning I phoned him and I said, "Joe, I'm just going to get right to it. Delinda told me what you said, and she said that you were really upset. Can you please forgive me? I am so sorry. I don't believe I said that, but I'm not going to defend it and tell you you didn't hear it, because that's another thing we tend to do when we apologize. We apologize and we say, "Well, I'm sorry that you took it that way," or "I'm sorry you heard it that way." I'm not saying that. I am sorry. Please just forgive me. And he says, it's okay, Jess, I forgive you, but you really hurt my feelings." And I said, "Well, I want to hear about it." And he said, "Well," I said, "Did I say you were a big fat pig?" And he said, "No, you didn't say those words, but that's what I heard." And he said, "Sometimes, Jess, when we go to dinner or we go to lunch, I know you care about me and I know you're into health and wellness and nutrition and you just want the best for me. But sometimes it just feels like you're judging me and I feel like I'm being judged." And he said, "I don't like the way that feels." And he said, "There, I said it." I said, "Well, thank you so much for saying it because that is never my intent. I love you so much. I would never purposely say or do anything to hurt you or anybody else that I love. But I'm aware that words matter and our choice of words matter and how we present them and the tone by which we present them matters. So I'm just going to tell you that you heard that. And for that, I'm sorry." And, and we hung up. Still didn't feel right. It felt awkward. I was going to go get dressed to go to his house. He was already near my sister's house and the doorbell rings like 10 minutes later. And it was he and his wife. And he just came in and he said, "Jess, I just want to tell you in person, I love you. I'm sorry. And can we just can it not be awkward?" And I said, "Oh, Joe, thank you so much." Cause I was about to go get dressed to go to your house to meet you, to tell you that to give you a big hug and tell you that I love you and I'm so sorry. And that you mean so much to me and you're one of my best friends. And we made up. So guys, even when you're trying, just because you've had one conversation, 2 conversations, 3 conversations about the same thing, particularly when it's about communication, good communication, I just want you to know it may take 10, 100 conversations to get to that place of being so comfortable. It becomes second nature to just have the conversation and not be afraid that it's going to turn into a confrontation. It doesn't have to be that. And I'm living proof. My brother and I are living proof. My other sisters and brothers and I who've had this conversation are living proof. There are still some of us that haven't had the conversation with one another in our family, but it's really important. And I'm committing to myself and having you and letting you guys know is going to hold me accountable to continue to do the work and to, when it matters, to continue to meet it head on and meet it with love and with kindness. So with that, I'm going to say, have a great, great day. And hope this episode's meaningful to you and that it sits with you and it resonates and it plants a seed. So have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. I love doing this. This is my passion. Have a great, great day.